have Maria Much with us, a local author, talking about her book. Very interesting. And now we have Jessica Willi. She's here with us. She couldn't be with us today. It's high season out on Block Island. But she's here to talk to us about the Block Island Float Project for 2018. So welcome. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
And so tell us, what is the Float Project?
So the Glass Float Project is a public art installation that was created by Evan Horton. And basically, it's a treasure hunt that takes place on Block Island on our beaches and trails. And the glass artist makes these glass floats, they're called, and hides them around the island every season. So this year, 2018, there's 550 that will be hidden throughout the season. And thousands of people come and look, and 550 lucky people go home with one.
And so it's finders keepers. If you come across one, you get to take it home.
That's correct. And we do try to encourage people to register them on the website because they are signed, they're numbered, they're dated, and they have the stamp of Block Island on them. And we ask people to register them so we can sort of keep track of them. Not everybody does. And we also try to keep it to one per seeker. So a lot of people, they find one, they keep looking, they want to keep looking, find more. We ask for the second one to either put it back where they found it or re-hide it somewhere. It's really supposed to be one per seeker per year.
Of course, to keep it fair, we don't want one person combing the island and taking home 50. And in honor of 2018, there are 18 special floats this year?
That's right. So every year, depending on the year, we've been doing this since 2012. So in 2012, there were 12 special colored glass floats, all different, maybe red or blue, or there's some really cool floats that are multicolored. And then in 2018, it's 2018 this year, and usually the float number one has some sort of gold leaf on it. Last year it was cobalt and gold, from what I understand. I never saw it, but it's blue and gold leaf float.
And so your website says you go out and you hide all of them in June. How many have been found so far?
Right. So we used to do them all at once, but we don't do them all at once anymore. So
okay.
They start in June and they go out throughout the season. I would say conservatively about half are out right now. Maybe 200 are out on the island.
Okay.
And, about 100 have been registered. That doesn't mean that there's 100 out there. Not everybody registers their floats. So we always guess at any given time because there's plenty that have never been found that are out there. At any given time, there's probably about 50 somewhere on the island. The last float is definitely all about timing. So if you hit it right, you might see one just sitting in a tree really easily. And if you don't hit it right, you may have to look really hard to find one.
So are they all over the island? Are they kept into one specific area?
Mostly they're on the Greenway trails, our public trail system out here.
Okay.
Or up, and if they are on the beaches, they're above the high tide mark and they're never up in the dunes. We try to keep people off the dunes and off the bluffs. So we would never, climb up the side of the bluff or climb up the dunes and hide them up in there. They would be in like an old lobster trap that's washed up on the beach or in a pile of rocks, something like that.
And you guys at the Tourism Council, do you generally plan where you're going to put them, or do you just go out and see what speaks to you?
Right. So Evan is in charge. Evan's a glass artist, and he's really the one who does most of the hiding. He does have some float ferries that go and do hide some of the floats, but it's pretty guarded secret who exactly hides the floats because people get followed.
Oh my. So this is a very intense process then.
Very seriously. So really, I think what happens is we try to see who, maybe if there was a whole bunch that were just found at, say, Hodge property, maybe that would have been the next place you would go hide them. So it definitely is just what speaks to you as you're hiding them. It has nothing to do with anything else. But try not to repeat the same places more than once, but there's more than one person hiding, so you never know.
Of course, you gotta shake it up, keep things fun. So that's the fun of the hunt. If you only get one per year, you don't want to just stumble into it.
Exactly.
And
exciting. It's very exciting when you find them.
Oh, I'm sure it makes me want to go get a ferry ticket and check it out. And how did you guys come up with this this idea for this fabulous scavenger hunt?
Actually, it was Evan's idea, and he had a friend who was a glass blower out in Oregon, and there's a city out there that does a very similar project. And Evan's a big fan of, his studio is in Wakefield, Rhode Island, a big fan of fishing on Block Island, and he used to come out and walk all around the shore of Block Island and fish, and he thought, what a great place to hide some of my glass creations. So he came to the Tourism Council back in 2011 and asked to help with funding, and he thought it was a good idea, and we were 100% behind it, and so ever since we've helped with funding, and we help, with the website and development and all that, because like all artists, Evan is focused on making the art and not the sort of nitty gritty of the details. So we've worked together for a lot of years, but it's definitely was his baby, it's his ideas, and it's his project. And that's Evan Horton is the artist's name.
Great, and I'm sure that takes so much time for him. 550 float, and he makes them all by himself.
He does. Well, he does have a partner that helps him, and they had an intern actually last summer. And interestingly, her name was Izzy, and she was just learning how to make the floats. So some of her floats were smaller than the traditional floats, and so they got known. The people who come out and search all the time know sort of what's going on, and they were called the Izzy floats, and they were smaller. They were these tiny, really cute little floats, and so the people wanted to find the Izzy floats instead of the colored floats or whatever.
That's so fun.
Them that do it, but really it's mostly Evan, and it does take a lot of time.
Oh, I'm sure. And you said that not all of them are always found, but keeping in mind the ones that aren't necessarily registered with you guys, how many are generally found per year? Is it 80% of them? Is it half?
I would guess that 85 to 90% are found every year. If 80 even up as high as 95%. Yeah, it's really hard to get people to register them, but what if they do, we know. If they don't, then we have no way of knowing, because we can't keep. There's so many people hiding them. We can't keep track of where they all are and go back and check on them and whatnot.
Of course, yeah, hard to keep a master list of something that big.
Exactly.
Great, and so you said you put about half of them out in June, and then do you just keep them going throughout the year, or is it more of, let's say come September, October, okay, here, we're going to bring out all the rest of them, or do you just slowly put them out throughout the year?
Well, generally it depends on when Evan makes them, when they go out, but this year they were all made before the season started. So the first, say, 50 or 75 went out that first weekend in June. And that's the only time that we publicize that they're going out. They will be out that first weekend in June. Otherwise, we never say when they're going out. But about 50 a month go out through the season, maybe 100 in July, 100 in August, and in September it steps down again to 50 maybe in September and October. And the majority of them, 90% of the floats are out by the end of October, by Columbus Day. That's really the season. But there are an additional maybe 20 or 30 floats that go out throughout the winter and into the spring, because it doesn't start until June. And so there's still, the daffodil blooms out here. A lot of tourism happens pre-season. So we put some out in the pre-season, but they would be, for example, this year there were 2017 floats being found in 2018.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, great. Well, sounds like a lot of fun. If you're looking for something exciting to do this weekend or spend some time with the kids, you can go to Block Island, check it out. It could be anywhere, probably on the Greenway trails, not in the dunes. Stay off the dunes.
Stay off the dunes. And I do have, I don't know if you can see in your, I've got one. This is a clear one, so you can sort of see what it looks like. And then this is a colored. I don't know if you could see that.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
Yeah, they're absolutely works of art. They're absolutely works of art. So.
And the flat part on the bottom, that's Eben signature.
That's it says Block Island Glass Float Project, and then on the side it would be that's number 345, like, and then 2018. So, yep,
All right, sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us today. I know you're very busy. It's like I said, it's high season on the island. So if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, go check it out. Head out to the island, enjoy the sun. Maybe you'll come home with a new decoration. So thanks so much, Jessica, for joining us today. And we'll be back on at 4. We're going to be talking news and politics, so don't go too far. And here in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center, I'm your GoLocal Live host, Rachel Nunes.